Okay, welcome. What I'm going to show you here is I'm going to show you how to take a mixed number and multiply it by another mixed number. When we multiply fractions, we're able to multiply the numerator times the numerator, the denominator times the denominator, but when we have a mixed number, that changes a little bit. What we need to do is we need to take each one of these mixed numbers and we need to convert them to an improper fraction. We remember from our other posts with converting mixed numbers to improper fractions, if you take the denominator, multiply it by the whole number, and then add the numerator, you'll be able to convert that into a improper fraction. So if I multiply 3 times 2, I get 6. Then 6 plus the 1 is 7. It's thirds pieces that we're working with here, so 2 and 1/3 as a improper fraction would be 7/3. I would do the same thing for the 1 1/2. I multiply the 2 times the 1, I get 2, and then I add the numerator, which is 3, and I would get 3/2. Now that I converted each mixed number to an improper fraction, now I could go ahead and I can multiply the way I would normally multiply fractions. I multiply the numerator times the numerator and the denominator times the denominator. Well, 7 times 3, of course, is 21, and then 3 times 2 is 6. Well, 21/6 is an improper fraction. We're not going to leave 21/6 as an improper fraction, so we have to take that improper fraction, convert it into a mixed number. If I pulled 21/6 pieces, I know that 6/6 is going to give me the 1 whole bar. 12/6 pieces is going to give me 2 whole bars. 18/6 pieces will give me 3 whole bars. Now I can't pull another 6. If I pull 18/6 pieces, I'm going to have 3 whole bars, and then the difference between the 21 and the 18/6 that I have would get me 3 extra 6 left over. Therefore, I would have 18/6, which would equal 3 whole bars, 3 extra 6 left over to get me to 21, and I would get my answer of 3 3/6. However, hopefully we recognize here that 3/6 can be simplified. It could be put in simplest form. 3 and 6 have a greatest common factor of 3, and if you divide the numerator by 3 and the denominator by 3, you'll get a fraction that's equal to 1/2. Therefore, the final answer would be 3 1/2. Let me show you one more example here. I have 3 and 2/4 times 2 and 1/4. I'm going to take my mixed numbers and I need to convert them into improper fractions. I know I would take the 3 and the 4, I would multiply them together to get 12, and I would add the numerator to that, and I would get 14. Therefore, it would be 14/4 as an improper fraction. The denominator always is going to stay the same here because we're using fourths pieces. Here the 3 times the 2 equals the 6. The 6 plus the 1 is 7. Therefore 2 and 1/3 would be 7/3. Now that you have just numerators and denominators, you can go ahead and you multiply the numerators times the numerator and the denominator times the denominator. Well, I would take 14 times 7, and I would multiply 4 times 7 is 28 plus the 2. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 2 is 98. So 14 times 7 is 98, and I know, of course, that 4 times 3 is 12. Well, I have an improper fraction. I need to take that improper fraction and I need to convert it to a mixed number. Well, if we know our 12 times tables, we need to think about how many 12s would go into this 98. Alright, I know 5 12s would get me 60. So I could get closer than that. If I get to 8 12s, I'm going to get to 96. So if I pull my 12 pieces, if I pull those 12 pieces, and I pull 96 of those 12ths, I'm going to have 8 whole bars. How many more would you need to get to that 98? Well, 2 more bars would get me that 98, and I would have 8 full bars and 2 twelfths left over. So my answer would be 8 and 2 twelfths. However, 2 twelfths could be put in simplest form. They have a common factor of 2. I would divide the numerator by 2, and I would divide the denominator by 2, and I would get 1/6. Therefore, my final answer would be 8 and 1/6. And that's how you take a mixed number and multiply it by another mixed number.